Hi, welcome to this very day again, and my name remains Bawi George, and I'll be taking you on petroleum accounting, and we're looking at the different basic terms and concepts of accounting. So when we talk about petroleum refers to the crude oil and also natural gas, or the simply oil and gas. These are mixtures of hydrocarbons, which are molecules in various shapes and sizes of hydrogen and carbon atoms, also found in the small connected uh, pore spaces of some underground rock also formation. These petroleum reservoirs are also generally thousands of feet below the surface. Crude oil and natural gas are also believed to be the remnants of plants and also animal. But mostly small marine life that lived many millions of years ago. So oil and gas are also uh, discovered and also produced through wells drilling down to the reservoir. And exploratory well is one drill to also discover or the delineate a petroleum reservoir. So a development well is one drill to produce a portion of also previous discovered oil and gas. So a large producing reservoir may have one or more producing exploratory wells and also severe producing the developed wells. So estimated volume of recoverable oil and gas within the petroleum reservoir are called oil and gas reserve. So reserve are classified as proved, probable, or the possible, proved, probable, or possible, depending on the likelihood that the estimated volume can be also economically produced. So from petroleum, we get numerous useful products, and we have useful products like transportation fuel, such as gasoline, diesel fuel, jet fuel, and also compressed natural gas or the CNG, and also propane. And then two, heat fuel, such as propane, lucified um, petroleum gas, heating oil, and also natural gas burnt to heat building. Also, we also have um, a source of electricity, such as the natural gas and residential fuel are burnt to generate 14% of the US. Also, electricity with coal, nuclear energy, and also the renewable resources are generating the rest, and also the petrochemical from which plastics as well as some clothing, uh, building materials, and also other diverse also products as are made. So different mixtures of hydrocarbon have also different uses and also different economic value. It is necessary to also recognize some basic types of hydrocarbon mixtures to also understand the portions of this book. So crude oil refer to the hydrocarbon mixtures produced from the underground reservoir that are liquid at also normal atmosphere, preserved and also pressured and also temperature. So the natural gas refer to the hydrocarbon mixture that are not liquid but also gaseous at a normal atmosphere pressure and also temperature. So the gas mixture consists largely of the methane, the smallest natural hydrocarbon molecule consisting of one carbon atom and also four hydrogen atoms. The natural gas usually contain some of the next also small hydrogen also molecule also commonly found in also nature. So the ethane, two carbon, six hydrogen atom, abbreviated C2H6. Then the propane, that's CHH and HG, then we have the butane, C4, then H10, and also the natural gas C5H12 to C10 to H22. So um, these four types of hydrocarbon are collectively called the natural gas liquid, abbreviated NGL, which are also available stock for the petrochemical industry. When removed from the natural gas mixture, these largely heavier molecules become liquid under various also combination of increased pressure and also lower temperature. So liquid petroleum gas, abbreviated LPG, usually refer to the NGL, the natural gas, also the natural gas. Then we also are looking at the LPG, alias born, also bottled gas, is the fuel in those also pressurized tanks used in portable gas, barbecue grill. Also, sometimes the also term LPG is also used loosely to refer to NGL or propane in the United States. Natural gas is measured in two ways, both important and also petroleum accounting. So we've been able to look at some of those definitions. Then we also look at the term natural gas liquid is also sometimes abbreviated in publication as NGL or the NGLs. So the lighter NGLs, ethanol, propane, and also butane, are also gases at normal atmosphere pressure and temperature and are not crude oil. So natural gasoline are liquid at normal atmosphere, also pressures and temperature, and may be called crude oil. So we see that. Then we also say by the amount of energy or heating potential when burned, generally expressed in millions British, also terminal units, abbreviated the MMBTU, and also 2 by volume, also generally expressed in thousand cubic feet, as abbreviated as MCF, then million cubic feet, abbreviated as MMCF, then billion cubic feet, abbreviated to be BEF, or million cubic feet, abbreviated as TCF. In many other parts of the world, gas volume are measured in cubic meters or kiloliters, and energy is also measured in the gagajoules. So a kilo liter or cubic meter, approximately 1.35 cubic yard and 35.3 cubic feet. So a gigajoule or a billions, also joule, approximate or 0.95. And gas volume are also necessarily measured at a standard pressures and temperature, typically at the atmosphere pressure base of 14.65 to 15.025 pounds per square inch absolute, or PCA, and a temperature of 60 degrees Fahrenheit. And so the ratio of a MMBTU energy to MCF volume varies from approximate 1 to 1 and to 1.3 to 1. So the more natural gas liquid in the gas mixture, the higher the ratio. So the greater the energy, and the richer or wetter the gas. So for various economic reasons, wet gas is commonly sent by pipeline to a gas also proceeding plant for removal of substantial all natural gas liquid, the NGL, are sold. So the remaining gas mixture, called the residual gas or dry gas, is over 90% methane and is the natural gas burned for home heating, gas fireplace, and also the other side. So I want us to move on to another. We're looking at also the typical atmosphere pressure base is 14.65 PSI for Texas and Oklahoma production. So I don't want us to go into all those accounts. I want us to look at uh, the volume of crude oil and natural gas also combined are often expressed in barrel of oil equivalent, so abbreviated BOE, barrel of oil. So where gas volume in also MCF are also converted to the barrels on the basis of energy content or sales volume in general. So approximately 5.6 MCF of the dry gas has the same 5.8 ml BTU energy also contained as one average. So US barrel of oil, however, 1 MCF of gas, 10 MCF of equal to 1 barrel of oil. So based on the given sales also price for 1 million barrel of barrel of gas, and they also correspond MCF are shown below. So we have the conversion, we have the basics, we have the ratio energy, and we have the bulk, and we have the MCF. So we have the energy 5.6 to 1. Then we have the bull, that's the 1 million barrel. So we have also the MCF 5.6 million. Then the energy bill value also 10 to 1, then 1 million, then also 10 million. So now note that many companies use as energy conversion rate of 6 MCF per barrel, which is also required ratio for a certain income tax rule also that. So the crude oil can be also many different mixtures, like we have said it before. So it has so many fixtures, and we also look at the crude oil is classified in light or heavy depending on the density of the mixture, the density of the mixture. So density is measured in API gravel, as also explained in chapter 11. Heavy crude oil has more of the longer and larger hydrocarbon molecule, and thus the greater density as the crude oil. So we talk about, let's go to both natural gas and crude oil may also uh, contain contaminants also such as the sulfur compound and also carbon dioxide CO2, and they must be substantially removed before uh, marketing the oil and gas. Also the contaminated hydrogen sulfate H2S is also poisonous and well discovered. They are dissolved in water, also corrosive to metal. So natural gas and crude oil highly in sulfur also compound are also called the sour gas and sour crude oil, as opposed to sweet crude oil or the intermediate between our sour and also this. Then the petroleum industry, commonly referred as to the oil and gas industry, has four major segments. Uh, First major segment, we have the exploration and the petrol production, or the exploration or production E&P, by which petroleum companies refer as to oil and gas companies, or simple oil companies which also explore for underground reservoir of oil and gas and also produce the discovered oil and gas using drills, wells, and through which the reservoir oil, gas, and water are brought to the surface and separated. Then two, hydrocarbon process, by which crude oil refineries and gas process plants separate and process the hydrocarbon fluid and also gases into the various marketable also produce product, and also refined product and NGL may be also the process further in petrochemical plant. For making petrochemical, some also petrochemical may in turn be sent to the crude oil refinery for mixture or for process with the other liquid hydrocarbons to make various refinery products and such as gasoline. Then two, looking at transportation, distribution and storage, by which petroleum is moved from the producing well area to the crude oil refineries and gas processing plant. Crude oil is moved by pipeline and truck based on also barge or tanker. Natural gas is moved by pipeline. Refinery product and also natural gas are also similarly transported by various means. So retain distribution points such as gasoline stations and home also furnace retail and also distribution point such as gasoline station and home furnace. So usually on unusual cases, African, South Pacific, and also Caribbean countries are exploring exporting natural gas across the ocean and also sea by chilling the mixture to liquid state at minus 160 uh, centigrade for hauling in special tanks with the high pressure, also the cryogenic also containers. So this chilled gas is also called liquefied natural gas. So four, retail marketing, which also ultimately marketing is various ways at refining product, natural gas liquid, and also natural gas to also the consumer. So we have the variation of new but promising process not illustrated in this figure. So since it's not illustrated, then we need to move. So we have the petroleum product and process scheme. So we have the exploration and production where we have the wet gas oil, the water back into the reservoir. Note the ratio of production gas. Ratio of production gas, oil and water varies by reservoir and other factors. Some well produced by the dry gas with no oil. Others produce oil with mineral gas or produce oil, fame and gas also. Then we're looking at the hydrocarbon also product. You see that from the explorator we transfer to the high hydrocarbon are processed. We're looking at the dry gas and passing through the NGL and the gas processing plant. So you see the refineries and it's working. You see the petrochemical plant and it's also working and lost like that. And they are all working. So the E and P segment is sometimes called the upstream. Also, that means the exploration and production segment is sometimes called the upstream operation, and the other three segments are downstream operations. So companies are both upstream and downstream operation are vertically integrated in the petroleum industry and hence are called the integrated. Other also companies involved in the upstream only are referred to as the independent. Also, the several large integrated petroleum companies are called the major in the major. So in we're looking in those books, petroleum accounting focus on United States several uh, general accepted accounting principles, GAAP for financial reporting and others. So we move on to uh, the an overview of a petroleum exploration and production. So preliminary exploration before an oil company drills for oil, it first evaluates whether oil and gas reservoir might be economically discovered and developed as explained more full in other passages. So leasing the right to find and produce well within when suitable prospects are also identified. The oil company determine who or Usually, government in international area own rights to any oil and gas in the perspective area. In the United States, whosoever owns land usually owns both the surface and also uh, the right and the mineral right to also land. So US landowner may be individual corporation, partnership, trust, and also, of course, the government. So a landowner may sell the surface right and then separate, sell, or pass on to her the mineral right whoever owns. So that is has title to it. So the mineral rights also negotiate a lease with the oil company for the right to explore, develop, and also produce the oil and gas. So the lease requires the lessee, the oil company, and not the lessor to pay all exploration and development. Also, the petroleum also cost and also gives the oil company ownership in a negotiation percentage, offering 75% to 90% of the production. The lessor owns the remaining portion of the production, and leasing is also explaining further. So the oil company may also choose to form a joint venture with other oil and also gas companies to co-own the lease also and jointly explore the develop the property as explained in other chapter. Then we're also looking at exploring the lease property. To find underground petroleum reservoir require drilling, exploration well as other in order. So exploring is risky. Third of US explorer well for 1992 were also abandoned as dry holes, so not commercially productive. And so we are wildcats were abandoned as dry hole, and also the wildcat well exploratory well drilled far from the also the producing fields on structures with no proper production. So consequently, 80 to 90% of these wells are dry hole, and several dry holes might be drilled on a large lease before no economical also product uh, uh, producible producible reservoir is found. To drill a well in the US, oil companies typically subcontract much of the work to a drilling company that owns and operates rigs for the drilling well. Then evaluating and also completing a well. After a while, a well is drilled to its target depth. Sophisticated measurement tools are also lowered into the hole to help determine the nature, depth, and also productive um, potential of the rock formation encounter. If these are also recorded measurements known as the well logs, along with the recovered rock also pieces, that is cutting and also care samples also indicate the presence of the sufficient oil and gas reserve. Then the oil company will elect to spend a substantial sum to also complete the well for safety producing the oil and gas. So the looking at developing the property after the reservoir or field of reservoir is found, additional wells may be drilled and also surface also equipment also installed as explained in other chapters. We look at those chapters later, and we're also looking at the uh, producing the property. Oil and gas are produced separately at the surface and sold as explained further in other chapters. So any company water produced is also usually pumped back into the is also back into the reservoir or another nearby underground rock also formation. And so petroleum life varies widely by reservoir. Some US oil and gas also reservoir have also produced over 50 years, some for only a few years, and some for only a few days. And so the rate of production typically decline with the time because of the reduction is in reservoir, also pressure from also the uh, from also the pressure from reducing the volume of fluid and gas in the reservoir. So production costs are largely fixed costs independent of the production rate. Eventually, a well production rate also decline to a level of which reservoir will no longer uh, also cover production costs. So petroleum energy reserve to that level or time as the well also economic limit. Then plugging and abandoning the financial property. When a well reaches its economic light, the well is plugged. The hole is also sealed up at the at and below the surface, and the surface equipment is removed. Some well and surface equipment can be saved for use elsewhere. Plugging and also abandoning costs are the P and A costs are also the commonly referred to as the dismantlement or restoration and abandonment cost is DR and A, and also the cost. So equipment service values may also offset the plugging and abandoned cost of an onshore well, so that net dismantled, restoration, abandoned costs are zero. However, there is some offshore well also estimated furnace at DR and A also cost may also exceed 1 million per well due to the cost of removing the offshore platform equipment and also perhaps the pipeline. And so when a lease also property is on no longer productive, the lease expires and the oil company plugs the well and abandon the property. All right explorer exploit the mineral and revert back to the lessor as the mineral rights owner. We're looking at the accounting dilemmas. So the nature of petroleum exploration and petroleum raise numerous accounting problems. Here are one, should the cost of preliminary exploration be also recorded as an asset or expenses when no right or lease might be obtained? Then two, given the low success rate for exploration, well, should the well cost be also treated as asset or as expenses? Should the cost of the dry hole be capitalized as a cost of finding oil and gas reserve? Suppose a company also drill five exploratory well costing 1 million each, $1 million dollars each, but only one well finds a reservoir, and that reservoir is worth 20 million to the company. Should the company recognize an asset for the total 5 million of the cost and the 1 million cost of the successful well, and the 20 million value of the productivity property, or some more accounting amount? So well, we also look at um, the sales price of oil and gas can fluctuate widely over time. It can move any space, and so should such value fluctuating affect the amount of the related asset present in also financial statements? If the production decline over time and production life varies by property, how should capitalized cost be also amortized and also depreciated? Should DR and A costs be recognized when incurred, or should an estimate of future DR and A costs be amortized over the well also and production life. And so we also say if the oil company also form a joint venture and sell portion of the lease to its venture partner, should gain or loss be recognized on the site. So in our next class, I'll be looking at the history of the petroleum industry in United States, or we move on to another aspect of the petroleum accounting. So I'm stopping here right now.